Chef, table 2's down a key lime. They're VIPs.
Who opened this morning? I don't have enough clarified key lime juice for that.
I just need it in 10, okay?
What? My show is just getting good. All right, it's tackling time. Welcome back to another Noah Tackles. And today the thing that we're tackling is recreating a 3 Michelin star dish. I've been nervous about it all week. There's a restaurant in Chicago called Alinea. Maybe you've heard of it. It's got 3 Michelin stars and they do this crystal clear pumpkin pie. And it looks really crazy. I think it kind of encapsulates what a lot of people think about Michelin star cooking. It's almost like a magic trick. Sleight of hand, familiar flavors, unfamiliar presentation. I thought because it's summer right now, instead of doing something like a pumpkin pie, which has more of a fall vibe, that we could do a clarified, crystal clear key lime pie. The way that Alinea does their clarification for the pumpkin puree is they use a rotary distiller, which I believe is very expensive. And so we don't have that. I came up with this idea that we could do like a milk clarification, like you would for a milk punch cocktail. Juiced key limes with sugar, salt, and maybe a little vanilla for flavor. And we're gonna milk clarify that to get a crystal clear liquid, set that with gelatin into a tart crust, and we should have a clear key lime pie. There's no recipe for this. I'm just sort of trying to figure it out. It's kind of what makes sense in my head, but we're gonna get to work. These are our key limes. You can't make a key lime pie without breaking a few key limes. Why are they different than regular limes? I don't know. They're definitely smaller, and as you can see, they have seeds in them. They have maybe a slightly different flavor. Maybe they're a little bit more aromatic. They're definitely a lot harder to juice. We're gonna need probably all of these key limes to get the 2 cups of key lime juice that we need for our recipe. I could not find a reference recipe for this. The only thing I could find is you can see the Alinea recipe for their pumpkin pie online, but again, it's a totally different process. I don't think anybody has attempted a milk clarified key lime pie yet. Obviously, Michelin is the French tire company, if you didn't already put that together. It's the same Michelin as the guy with the, you know the guy, the Michelin guy, the Michelin man, sorry. The first Michelin guide was a travel guide around France. Just basically like to encourage people to get in their cars and drive around the beautiful country. Hey, these are the restaurants that you can go see. Michelin stars are based on a rating of like, how far are you willing to travel for a meal? 1 Michelin star is like, if you happen to be there, it's a great meal. 2 Michelin stars, worth a detour. 3 Michelin star, worth a special trip. Alinea specifically, which is the restaurant that this dish is inspired by, definitely a pioneer of these kind of like immersive dining experiences. Like floating, flavorful clouds that are like infused with floral scents. Or you get like servers with paintbrushes like splattering your dessert onto a white tablecloth and you eat it right off of the table. And so this clear pie is, I think, right at home on their menu. All right, I'm gonna start juicing these key limes. We don't really have a key lime sized juicer, but this seems to be working just fine. I'll just be juicing here for a while, so we'll come back when I'm done juicing. This is basically the primary component of our pie filling, right? So I'll set that aside for a moment. Like I mentioned, to get this clear, we're gonna do a process called milk clarification. I'm borrowing this technique from cocktail making. Basically, what we wanna do is heat up about a pint of milk on the stove here. Just to a bare simmer. I'm gonna make a really simple mixture of key lime juice, just straining out any seeds that made it through. This is about 1.5 cups of sugar. Good pinch of salt, maybe 2. About 1 cup of water for dilution. And then look, in a Michelin star restaurant, they're probably gonna use whole vanilla bean, maybe vanilla bean paste, but I just want a dash of vanilla extract. If I was making just a regular key lime pie, I probably would not add vanilla extract, but with the process of milk clarification, that milk is gonna strip away some of the flavors. And so we're just gonna get like a whisper of vanilla from beyond the void. I almost forgot. A little lime zest. Just for that added aromatic lime flavor. Basically how milk clarification works is you take whatever mixture it is that you want to clarify and you add it directly into hot, whole milk. You need some kind of acidic component in this mixture because what happens is the acidity from the limes will curdle the milk proteins in the milk, separating the milk solids from the whey. It essentially creates a kind of raft, and that helps us filter out a totally clear liquid, which ultimately is the whey mixed with a clarified version of this filling. It's very important when doing any kind of milk clarification that you add the liquid into the milk, not the other way around. I don't know why, honestly, just to be real with you, but every recipe I've ever read makes a really big deal about that part of the process. Okay, I'm gonna cut the heat and go right in with my juice. Look at the way it curdles right away. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Come on, come over here. Look at this, come on. So you can see the milk has already started to curdle. We're gonna let this rest for a couple of minutes, come down in temperature a bit, continue to separate the milk solids from the whey, and then we will strain this off to clarify. It's been about an hour. Our milk has totally curdled and it's about time to strain this. I'm sure that there's a better way to set this up. This is just what I found with the equipment that we have, what works for me. You really want to double strain this. You're either gonna have to pass it twice or just put it through 2 layers of something like a nut milk bag, and I have a layer of coffee filters. So we're gonna start by straining it through this nut milk bag. You could use cheesecloth, and then I found that the coffee filters just add like an extra layer of filtration. Okay, it could take 2 hours for this to slowly drip and filter completely, but it's worth it because we're gonna get a super clear, flavorful liquid at the end of it. As you can see, don't look at that. I think we have pretty much all of the clarified juice that we're gonna get out of this. Magically, we're done clarifying. I don't believe that this has any more juice left to give. And what we're left with, clear, clarified key lime pie filling. Now it does have a little bit of kind of a yellowish, greenish tint. The Alinea pie that we're sort of trying to recreate is perfectly crystal clear, but with milk clarification, you kind of can't get away from the color of the whey, which does have this sort of yellowy tint to it. Does it look good or what?
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it looks good. Thank you guys. What we have to do to set this into a pie filling is basically just thicken it with gelatin. I'll start by taking a 1/4 cup of this mixture, separate that out, and I think we need about 2 cups of filling. We'll grab a single packet of gelatin powder. We'll start by blooming this in our cold liquid. We'll just let this stand for about 5 minutes. One of the hardest things I have to tackle is getting my friends to decide on what we should watch when we all get together.
Well, why can't we watch what we always watch?
Guys, you know reality TV is my favorite, and we never want to watch it.
Hey Noah, just checking. There's no gluten or lactose in this, right?
Everybody's got different tastes, and I'm used to catering to dietary needs. The same goes for TV. With DIRECTV's My Entertainment Genre Pack, you get over 50 live channels plus Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Hulu all in one package. So I get to do my thing while they watch their favorites, and everybody's happy. It's dinner and a show, for whatever mood you're in. This powdered gelatin has been blooming for about 5 minutes. I'm just gonna get it on the stove quickly to dissolve, and then we'll add it back to the rest of the filling. Now we should only need about 2 cups. So let me just measure out, set aside the rest for, I don't know what we'll use this for, maybe a cocktail? Key lime pie martini, maybe? That's actually a really good idea. God, it's Sometimes dried gelatin smells like disgusting, like cow's feet. Well, I love gelatin. No, I do. It's a great. I mean, it's like the magic of nature. I bet you could do this with agar, and/or agar, and/or agar powder, which is derived from seaweed. So vegans, hello, this is your recipe too. Okay, I forgot about the milk which is very integral to the recipe. But I have heard that you can clarify with coconut milk, and if you add a little extra coconut oil. Because most plant-based milks don't have naturally enough fat for this process, but I do believe there's a way to do it with coconut milk and coconut oil. Okay, so this is fully dissolved. So we'll just add the dissolved gelatin mixture into the rest of the filling here. Set this aside and we'll get to work on our crust. Okay, it's crust time. What could be more appropriate for our Michelin star key lime pie than a graham cracker crust? But we're gonna add a little twist. We're gonna do a little brown butter graham cracker crust, just because we're feeling like we need to kick the flavor up to the next level. I have a ripping hot pan here, and I just add the butter right in, and it starts browning immediately. I have some graham crackers that have been processed into a pretty fine crumb, seasoned with salt. I will sift in some powdered sugar. If we use granulated sugar, it wouldn't really fold seamlessly into the texture of the crust. I really feel like we're working in a restaurant today. I got my clogs on. Can you see my clogs? Can you see my non-sticks? You getting that? Anyway, I did work in restaurants a little bit and fine dining a little bit, but really for a very short period of time. I did pick up all the lingo and some of the habits. Okay, so we have milk solids kind of starting to stick to the bottom of the pan and brown. I'll pull this off the heat and just let it cool slightly. So some common restaurant lingo. If you're going behind somebody, it's like behind, okay? If you're carrying a knife around, sharp. One thing that I still carry with me a little bit is like when you're going up or down stairs. Like I'll do that in my house. I don't have stairs in my house. But if I'm in a place that has stairs, like sometimes I'll be like, coming up. Fire would be like, get started on this, right? So fire key lime pie. Okay, now I'm working key lime pie. So I've just added the browned butter to the graham cracker crumbs. And I want like a pretty like loose texture, but it should kind of hold together in like rough clumps. And over here I have an already greased tart pan. This is a pretty delicate pie, so I want to make sure that I have this removable bottom to help us get it out and get a good slice. So I'll start adding the crust into the pan. I could have made like a actual pastry crust. That would be a little bit more like fine dining, but I don't want a key lime pie without a graham cracker crust. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I think that what'll help here is just something with a flat bottom. You can really start to squeeze into the sides. We're gonna get this onto a half sheet tray just like this and pop it in a 350 oven for about 10 minutes. Next step, I think it wouldn't be, well, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking a lemon meringue. But I feel like a meringue is nice on a key lime pie. I have 3 egg whites here in a bowl. I'm just gonna add, this is cream of tartar. This will act as a stabilizer for us as we whip our egg whites. So I'll get started. This will take a couple minutes. All right, I'll add some sugar and keep whipping. We are looking for stiff peaks, and we're not there. What's that? Does that look like a stiff peak to you? You should be able to hold it over your head. Oh, I'm so nervous. What if it falls, Tim? Okay, let's give this a try. Okay, it's ready. So let's get this into a piping bag. We have a nice little star tip. Always roll down your piping bag a couple of notches. Suspend it over a deli container like this. Piping bags kind of scare me a little bit. I don't know, just like any kind of like fine like pastry decorating, it's just really, it's out of my comfort zone a little bit. I think this is how they do it at Alinea. So I'll snip the bottom off. I have a bowl scraper here and I'm just gonna use it to press the meringue down to make sure that there's as few air pockets as possible. And then a good way to tie off a piping bag is to cut a little slit, and then you can take these two pieces and kind of tie them together. Okay, our graham cracker crust is completely cooled down. The filling is at room temperature, and all we have to do now is add the filling to the pie crust and set it in the fridge to cool until it's set. It's a clear pie filling. Be very careful. I'm nervous in a way that I can't describe. I don't think this is gonna work, if I'm being honest. This is the tart. It's been cooling for a while, and it looks like it's completely set. Just because this has been in the fridge for a while, that butter is really cooled down. I'm just gonna torch the edge of the tart pan. Oh my God. That's a clear pie if I've ever seen one, guys. Okay, there's still, the tart bottom is still on there, but I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna cut it right on the metal, okay? The best way to cut a delicate pie or tart like this is with a hot knife. I'm just gonna use this simmering water to heat up my knife. How's that look? Guys, I have been like racked with anxiety about this stupid pie. Let me just take a picture of it. I'm so sorry. I think what I would do is I would pipe just a dollop of meringue and then give it a quick torch. That's a Michelin star clear key lime pie. I literally cannot believe that worked. I think I'm gonna give it a try. This has been a lot of work. This has been all day. Wait. I ate that. I don't know that it's better than just a regular key lime pie. You probably need a little bit of a better ratio between the filling and the crust. We want maybe a little bit of a thicker pie, maybe more meringue, maybe a whole layer of meringue on top. But this is really delicious. And the filling is surprisingly close in flavor to that of a regular key lime pie. Because you get that milk clarified flavor that's adding a lot of richness and creaminess, but the texture is very light and gelatinous. I like it a lot more, honestly, than I thought I would. Maybe a little silly, heady, and it's maybe not even worth the amount of work that it took. But I am enjoying this slice of pie, I'll say that much. Can I get hands?